Welcome back, eSIM Studios. So, the S25 Edge got a major leak. We got color variations, we've got all the dimensions, all the specs. We also got a video comparison between the S25 Edge and the S25 Ultra. Now, they're both kind of a girly color. I think it's their pink version, but it is what it is. In the video, they also have a black model as well. The black looks very, very sleek. I actually really like the black. I have questions about this. I want to get excited about this device. I want to get excited about this release, but I'm worried, right? I don't know right off of the bat if it's worth purchasing. I don't know if I'm going to recommend you buying it. It just comes down to one simple dilemma: the heat. But this one has the potential to overheat. Now, they made some slight variations. I believe it may be. We don't know until we get the device. So I think we know everything except if they've underclocked it slightly. We do have benchmark results, which we will get to. I will show the video. But I'm worried about the heat. Now, I know a lot of people have called me crazy. And they said, oh, my S25 Ultra is fine. No, not overheating. I get that, and that's cool, right? But some people's have. And mine was one of them. So, I don't really know what this is going to do performance-wise. We do know. We got the benchmark results, but I'm worried about it overheating. And I referenced, before we get to the video and the specs, this is a weird combination, right? And this is why I'm maybe kind of hesitant. So it's not, I guess it's not just the overheating, if it will. But like, they've got a 200 megapixel camera on here. So it's got some S25 Ultra specs on there. It's got some premium specifications on there. But then I think it has slower charging. That we've seen rumors that it only has 25 watt charging. Really, Samsung? I hope that's not the case, because here's the issue. It's fairly slim. Now, the iPhone 17 Air is going to be I don't say significantly. I mean, when you look at the numbers, like, well, the iPhone 17 Air is just under 5 millimeters thick. The S25 Edge is just over 5 millimeters thick. I think it shows 5.8 in the video. So we're looking at roughly 1 to 1.5 millimeter difference in thickness from the iPhone 17 Air to the S25 Edge. But when holding it in hand, comparing it side by side, the iPhone 17 Air does look thinner. Now, when you have a thin device, it's going to have a thin battery or smaller battery. We do know this is not, the S25 Edge is not going to have a silicone carbon battery in it. I don't believe you'll see that until possibly the next generation. So you're going to get like a 4,000 milliamp per hour battery, or just under. You're going to get a 6.7 inch Super AMOLED display with slow charging. Now, I refer back to the worst phone I've ever had in my life, and that is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. Why was that? Well, it was always on the charger. It had a very small battery. I think it was like 3,400 milliamp per hour battery, and it had 25 watt wired charging. So the battery, when you wake up in the morning, you'd have a full battery, 100%. You unplug it. It was basically almost dead by lunchtime. You would have to have it plugged in. Now, here's the issue. When you plug it in to recharge it, you still want to use the device, right? Well, it was so slow at charging, and you're using the device, which charges it a little slower. It would be plugged in for the remainder of the day because it charged so slow, and I need to use it. It's my phone, right? So it'd be plugged in for the rest of the day. And the only time you could use it basically without having it being plugged in is first few hours of the day, and that's it. So I have a decent amount of worriness, kind of same kind of deal with this. I look at the specs and it has me worried a little bit. It has me wondering, where are we going with this? Because do you want it to be a flagship device? Now, obviously it is, but they have some questionable specs that are in the spec sheet here. So let me pull up and show you what I'm talking about. This video compares it to the S25 Ultra. Link for this will be in the video description box below. As you can tell, oh, and it does not have the anti-reflective display that you see here. It does not. It has the regular reflective display, I guess you could say. So they're still saving that for their Ultra model, but I'm going to have the link for this in the description box below. Let's check out this video here. This device, let's go over some specs really quick just to know what we're dealing with. Then we'll get to the colors as well. If you're interested, look, if you're interested in getting, I kind of am, honestly. Like, I'm kind of like, it looks cool. I like limited edition stuff. Now they're gonna produce this in a limited number. We don't know how many they're gonna produce. We've heard rumors it's not gonna be released in the US, and then I've heard recently it might be. We've seen some screenshots where it has a US model number, so I don't know what's going on. We should know something soon because it looks like it's going to be released next month. So it has a 6.7 inch Super AMOLED display, 2400 by 1000, so it's not like the most high density pixel display we've seen. Cameras, it's got a 200 megapixel main sensor. It's the same one that's on this S25 Ultra. 12 megapixel secondary sensor. 3900 milliamp per hour battery. That's 1,000 less than the S25 Ultra. Now the colors it's coming in is let's see, titanium and jet black. Now that looks cool. That is in the video. We'll look at that here in a second. It's going to be in titanium silver and a titanium icy blue. Now let me increase this slightly. Let's check this video out. Look at the off-centered. I saw this online. There were a couple people bothered. I think these are OCD people that or what do you, I guess not OCD. What do you call those people that, like, maybe it is, that have to have everything like lined up geometrically, like everything has to be perfectly aligned. Look at the USB Type-C port. It's not, if you have any other phone, shoot, even an iPhone, if you get an iPhone, if you get a nothing phone, if you get another Samsung, if you got a OnePlus device, look at all these Type-C ports. I guess you can't really see it, but all the Type-C ports are perfectly aligned in the center of the phone. If you look at the bottom of your phone, the charging port is perfectly aligned right in the center. This is the first time I can remember seeing a USB Type-C port that's not perfectly lined up right dead center. It's off. It actually, the Type-C port sits closer to the back of the phone towards the back panel than it is the front panel. So if you look at this picture that I paused, the front of the device is on the bottom and the back of the device is up top, right? He's holding it upside down. So, and the speaker is off-centered. See that speaker on the left? And look at the SIM tray on the right. Even the microphone, everything is lined up towards the closer to the back of the phone than it is the front of the phone. Now, I know why they did that. It's because the motherboard, everything's plugged in. Well, not everything, but the charging port is plugged in, is physically connected to the motherboard. The motherboard, the logic board, is in the back of the device. It is so thin that the top of the phone, right under the display, is taken up by the display, right? The chassis of the phone, the top half is probably display. The bottom half of the phone is the logic board, the motherboard. So they have to have, like, plug it, the charging port has to be connected to the motherboard. So that's why it's not off center. But you know one thing? The Apple iPhone 17 Air, their super slim phone, their Type-C port is perfectly aligned. Even the Oppo Find N5, that's the razor thin foldable, that Type-C port, the thickness of the phone is basically the Type-C port, and that's perfectly aligned in the dead center. So this is the first time I've seen a device that does not have a perfectly aligned charging port. Just interesting. So that black color looks nice, man. The only color you know what? It says the colors here: titanium jet black above the video, titanium jet black, titanium silver, titanium icy blue. But in the video, it shows a pink color. So I don't know why. I guess I need to add that to the article. So there you get your first look. I guess we got another 45 seconds left. Interesting though. Here are the Geekbench numbers. So single core score, you get a few points under 3,000. And then multi-core score, you get a few points under 9,500. So technically it scored 2969 on the single core. And it scored 9486 on the multi-core score. Not too shabby. I think, you know what? Hold up. Let me see what my S25 Ultra got. I got it right here. Let me see. Geekbench. Let me go to history. Because I think mine got better than that. Let's see here. Benchmarks, history. So, wow. So that actually scored. Damn. Okay, mine got a little better. So my single core score on my S25 Ultra got a score of 3109. And the S25 Edge was 2969 on single core. So the S25 Ultra beat it in single core with 3909. Excuse me, 3109 on the S25 Ultra. And the multi-core score, my S25 Ultra scored 9798. And the S25 Edge scored 9486. So S25 Ultra, slightly better, which, look, it could mean they maybe just tuned it down, maybe just a tiny bit. Maybe not, but I don't know if we'll get those results or get an answer for that, but that's right around in the same ballpark, right? It's not a drastic change, right? It's a drastic difference. It's right around in that ballpark, so there should not be much of a performance difference. There we go. 2969, 9486. There you have it. So, interesting device. Not too sure how how it's going to perform with the cameras. Look, if it's got the same sensors, or two of the four same sensors that the S25 Ultra has, and the S25 Ultra got ranked number 24th in the world on the DxOMO chart. So I expect it to, fall somewhere in there. So it'll be a decent shooter. It's not going to be pixel quality, pixel level, but it'll be decent, right? Um, let's see here. Anything else we got? Um, it looks like about it. So release date is expected to be at the end of next month. So it just got certified in a number of countries for their electronic certification, right? Like sort of like the FCC equivalent of what we have here. It's been certified in just in the last few days in week or two in a number of various countries around the world, and those only get certified right before launch, right? Because it does leak some and confirm some information, and they want to keep that under wraps until launch. Well, some do. Um, Now, it's going to launch with. It got certified with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE. Samsung's going to release an FE Fan Edition version of the Samsung Galaxy Tab, the S10, and it looks like Samsung's going to launch this S25 Edge alongside the Galaxy Tab S10 FE at the end of April. So here in about maybe 5 weeks or so, somewhere around there, 4 to 5 weeks, we should have this. So again, I don't know if it'll be available for people in the US. Now, if you really, really want one and it's not launched in the US, of course, you can find one on eBay or wherever, any other online retailer, right? But I don't know. If they do release this in the United States, are you going to get it? I'm debating. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of do, kind of don't, right? Now, I've said in the past, I plan on trading in my iPhone 16 Pro Max for an iPhone 17 Air. Somebody already did call me crazy in the comments in one of my previous videos, and sure, I might be, but I don't really use this phone that much, so I'm like, what do I care? Just I want the newest, latest technology. I think these thin phones are cool. I just think it's going to take a generation or two to get it right. Right. And if you've watched this channel, we'll get out of here on this. If you watch this channel, I always recommend, and maybe I need to take my own advice on this, right? I always recommend don't buy the first generation of any new product. Now, why would I say that? Well, typically, these companies learn their lessons and basically iron out all the kinks, right, with the second gen and or possibly even the third gen of a new product. This is a brand new product for Samsung. This is a brand new product for Apple, going with the super slim devices. I'm kind of hesitant, as I mentioned many times before. I think we're going to see a roadblock or a big learning lesson, so to speak, between at least one or two of these companies, Apple and or Samsung, with these thin devices. I just think it's almost like too good to be true. Like, I wish the S25 Edge was a little thinner, because when you compare it to the iPhone 17 Air, it still looks like an S24 Plus or S25 Plus, right? Um, but I have concerns over the with the overheating and the charging, quite frankly. So I think, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to skip this S25 Edge unless people get it in and review it, and we see people raving about it, or maybe Samsung comes out and says, "Oh no, it's got 45-watt charging instead of 25-watt charging," or you hear people saying there are no overheating reports, right? Then I'm like, well, maybe I will get it. But I think with the iPhone 17 Air, I think Apple's approach is going to be an interesting one. Apple's going to sell far more iPhone 17 Airs than S25 Edges on the Samsung side. For one thing, the demand is high. Apple has not changed their design in 6 or 7 years. So this is going to be the first. Now, I know the 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max are going to look a little different. But this is the first real major redesign Apple's seen in years, almost a decade. So this thing's going to sell like hotcakes. It's going to get tons of attention, and we shall see where this goes. Where it goes, nobody knows. But I think I'm going to reserve. I need to take my own advice. I need to chill and see where this goes. I want to get excited, but I have reservations, as you should too. But Are you excited about this? Is this going to be a flop? Which one do you like better, the 17 Air or the S25 Edge? Do you think this is just stupid with this whole thin phone thing? Let me know in the comments, and we shall go from there. Now, I have videos coming up for the performance testing on the Nothing Phone 3A. Just updated the device, recorded some stuff, took some photos, did some benchmark testing. Has the performance improved after the March update? Have the cameras improved since the March update? Well, you'll find out. I'm about to record the video for this and put that out. And then we have some more case reviews for the S25 Ultra. And I have something special going on for the OnePlus 13. So stay tuned to the channel, eSIM Studios. I do appreciate the time. And as always, I will see you on the next one. Peace.